So أول شيء أكيد we hope that all of you are like safe and sound. For those of you who also just joined, I'm Nahla. I'm the communications coordinator at iPart. And I'd like to first remind you that if you need anything, you can always reach out to anyone from the iPart team. We'll be really happy to help, and we'll try to help as best as we can. So thank you for registering to attend today's session. Our speaker today is Andrea Madi. She's an ACC certified professional coactive coach and a certified transformational coach based on positive psychology. So that was a lot of big words, but in short and simple terms, she helps you connect with like your true self, understand your points of strength and weaknesses, and manage your relationships, and as entrepreneurs also as well manage your team dynamics. She's amazing at what she does, and we're really looking forward to this session. I think we all need it. So Andrea, the floor is yours. Thank you for doing this, and we're looking forward. I'm gonna make you host now.
Thank you so much, Nahla, for this beautiful introduction. Well said. And as you said, those are big words. So in short, I'm really passionate about supporting you and supporting everyone and improving the quality of your relationships, be it professional or personal, because I truly believe that they impact the quality of your lives. So this is a bit of me, and I'll just share my presentation and we can dive deeper. Sorry, it seems
Are you able to share it?
Zoom may not be able to record the contents of your screen until it is quit. Sorry, I need to quit and reopen is what it's saying.
Okay, it's fine. I'll just
I'm very sorry. I'll quit and reopen.
It's fine, don't worry. I loved your video, Fadi, by the way. Everyone
Which one?
loved it. The one we posted
About 2006 war and this war?
Instagram, Mentor's message.
Nahla, please, I need you to give me a host to be able to share.
Yeah, host. Okay.
It's a new laptop, so I hope the setups are not... okay, should be fine.
Okay, perfect.
We're good.
Yep.
Okay. So today's session, I mean, yes, it's stress management tools and techniques, but we really know that today we're going through very, very challenging times. Every day is new uncertainty. Every day is change. Every day we don't know what's going to happen the next day, the same afternoon. So I'm very happy to be here, to be able to give you what I can in helping you navigate these days. First, by enabling you to gain awareness, understanding, and then tools to how to regulate your nervous system. Okay, so I'm not going to go back towards that, but again, I offer one-on-one coaching, pair coaching for teams of 2 or 3 people, and I support with conflict resolution matters. What is stress? By the way, just before diving deeper into it, please, at any point, if you have anything to share, just raise your hands. I want this to be very interactive. I don't want to just present everything. I will be asking some questions that you'll see along the way. Please, let's have the chat box as a way to communicate. And if you have a paper and a pen next to you, just grab it. I think it will be nice to reflect on some points. Sound good? Okay. So what is stress? The World Health, the WHO says that stress is a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. It is a natural response to challenging situation. So when we have uncertainty, when there is health matters, money, conflict, anything, our body responds in a way that we experience as stress. What are sources of stress? So before continuing, I'd like to ask you, what comes to your mind when you think of sources of stress? You can write in the chat box. Yeah, uncertainty, living in Lebanon. How do you define living in Lebanon? Financial? Yeah. Instability, interpersonal, intra, absolutely. Physiological and psychological stress, absolutely. So we'll also identify the difference between sources of stress and symptoms. So sources is what is causing the stress, and the symptoms is how it appears, how we respond to it in our body, in our mind, the fog, all that. Work-related stress, conflict, family, I guess responsibilities as well. Okay, great. So we'll go through some of them here. So first, for example, the journey of an entrepreneur. There is instability. When I say instability, not in a bad way, but there is this sense of we don't know what's going to happen. Competition enters, there's conflict between entrepreneurs, there's high workload. We are not doing just one job as in a company where your job is purely defined. There is uncertainty of success. There's also short-term low salary versus effort. As an entrepreneur, you put all your aim and your soul and the effort, and you feel that it's not being rewarded on the short term. And I would like to also specify about the conflict. As human beings, we all have our background, our natural way of coping with situation, of responding, of communicating. And it's not always, most of the time, it's not exactly like another person. So sometimes under pressure, these dynamics will appear and it will create even higher environment of stress. Responsibility, someone said family. So yes, sometimes we need to support our family. So this is a responsibility. Supporting the team startup. So for example, you have a co-founder. You are responsible to come to show up in a certain mood, not bring in all the stress with you or negativity. Paying back a loan, taking care of a sick parent. The rising cost of living. So we have responsibility on how to manage the financials. Poor work-life balance. So sometimes we have endless working hours. There's no more different, especially for entrepreneurs, right? When we say it's the weekend, or خلاص, it's the evening. Sometimes work follows you till home. It follows you in the weekend. We are not able to disconnect anymore. What is the fine line between saying, okay, no, but I'm dedicated towards my work versus saying, okay, no, I want to completely disconnect and this is a full shutdown. So how can we also create time to train, physical training, to socialize, relax, having family time, outside activities, fun as well, because sometimes fun is lost when we're fully driven by following our dream. So just I'm highlighting those are sources of stress. So when we have a poor work-life balance, when there is just a weight on the work, it creates a source of stress because there's a lack of balance as a 360 degree perspective of your life. Relationship dynamics. So again, conflicts between co-founders, as I mentioned earlier, we come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different way of processing information, of managing time, of managing timelines, toxic communication. So also, if we if we grew up in an environment where we had a parent who was a bit strict, believing they're doing the best for us, but they were actually quite intense and strict, we may be also responding to situation with this toughness. We may stonewall, like turn our back and avoid the conversation. So lack of communication. Also couple conflict, because we all have personal lives, be it conflict with your partner, romantic partner, or with a close friend, or with a parent, or with your child. These dynamics impact the entire quality of your life. So even if you are having a conflict at home, you will also bring this, it will also be a source of stress for you. Country risk. As you mentioned, Fadi, so Lebanon, war uncertainty, lack of safety, electricity. You mentioned earlier that you had the high internet. So it's not anymore becoming a basic. It is unfortunately the situation at the moment. High traffic, risk of shortages, rising cost of living. What do we notice in all these here? What do they have in common? Basic needs. Yeah, interesting. Basic needs, safety, electricity. True, Lara. Government. Things out of our control. Absolutely, Yasmin. Exactly. So there's, and we will go through that later in the presentation. Very well said, Maha, also uncontrollable things. So we will identify what is within our control and what is outside of our control. And we are in a constant state of change. However, in our beloved country, the level of uncertainty is even higher. There's a sense of lack of safety. Also, we underestimate the importance of a balanced diet. When we undereat, it is a source of stress on our body. When we overeat as well, high intake of processed food, not enough carbs and fat. Some people go on very high protein diets. This is a stress on our bodies. Our body needs carbs and healthy carbs and fat in order to have energy, to fuel, to reason, to think, to feel relaxed. High intake of caffeine also can be a source of stress. It irritates the body. High intake of processed sugar. Emotional eaters, absolutely, Fadi. So we'll notice how emotional eater is a response to stress, and we'll go through that further down. So what are your sources of stress at the moment? War. Yeah. Lebanon. Yeah. Uncertainty, unsafety, future, Lebanon. Our families, house, and assets being at risk. Yeah. So those are like the basic needs. War, decision making. Absolutely, Maha. So here we'll see later how what is within our control and we can do a choice, and when it is out of our control, how we can manage that. Yeah. Anyone else want to add? Secure retirement. So here is the future. Being a single dad and trying to find a new partner for life. Yeah, Fadi, this is also valid. Absolutely. We life is not just work, but also we need warmth. Maha may be interested. I don't know. Instability. Yes, terrible. Public safety. Absolutely. So we notice how much there is a weight on the stress that the country is bringing today, and it's having an impact on you. Seductive operational bullies. Okay, I'm not familiar with that, SOBs, but okay, I'm happy to learn more about it, Sherbel. They're high in their traits. Okay, okay, I get what you mean. Yes, absolutely. So there are sometimes toxic managers or toxic individuals in an environment that can be impacting our health. I have experienced a very toxic manager at some point, and it really impacted me. So I was coping with eating high level of sugars and chocolate every night, for example. So yes, absolutely. Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna define further with keywords, but I agree. Okay, so how to identify stress symptoms? So what we saw now were sources of stress, but how is this stress actually being expressed in our body? So there's 3 ways how stress is actually expressed. One is a mental response. When we have anxious thoughts, negative thoughts, we go worst case scenario, but what if I lose my entire house? What if, what if I end up on the street? This is a stress response. And sometimes we're very unclear. There's mixed thoughts. Another way of responding is the emotional aspect of it. So before it was in our head, is how we think, how our thoughts are unclear. But there is the emotion inside. Is it anxiety? Is it sadness? Is it fear? Is it frustration? Sometimes this nervous laughter is an emotional response. And then there's physical symptoms. Muscle stiffness. I feel it in my shoulders and in my neck, for example. When I can directly know that I am stressed or there's something is wrong when I have this very strong stiffness. Same for also a digestive system. I get constipation. I'm being very transparent here. Foggy vision. Some people have low energy, short breath. They start breathing like this. Tears as well. So our body will always tell us that something is off balance. We should give it a lot of attention. When our body is expressing something, it means there's something off balance that we're maybe ignoring. Wives, also husbands as well, Elias, I guess. Yes. Yeah, so this is a source of stress. It is not the symptom. You're talking about the source of stress. So the source of the stress is a wife that could be nagging or stressed or anxious, and your physical symptoms is maybe being demotivated. So it could be a behavioral change. So sometimes we have insomnia, sometimes trouble concentrating, inability to perform well, aggressive communication, emotional eating, Fadi, as you mentioned earlier. So those are a response to the stress. And sometimes when it's intense on the moment, you see someone shaking or fidgeting, or they go very aggressive, fight or flight. This is on the moment. We are it's called realm, REALM. And we are in a state where it's survival mode. It's like having a lion running towards you. So how does stress express itself for you? Fadi reflux, absolutely. Absolutely. So how does stress express itself for each one of you? Lack of appetite, sleepless nights, mood swings, body aches, inability to concentrate, change in eating habits, extreme anxiety, no focus. I noticed a heightened sense of urgency, overthinking. Overthinking is absolutely a stress response, especially when expectations are going tested. Restlessness, trouble focusing, yes, agitation. Hi, Mansoor. Ruminating. Yeah. Yes, those are stress responses. Overeating and reflux, absolutely. Those are coping mechanisms. We are stressed, our nervous system is agitated, and biting my nails, it's also a stress response, yes? Yes. So, awareness is the first step towards change. Understanding what are our sources of stress, understanding how we are responding to stress is the first step in order to start choosing differently. So, if you want to rate your level of stress now from 0 to 10, where are you?
0 being the lowest?
0 being the lowest. Breaks the scale. 10, 10. Okay, wow. Yeah. 7, 7, 6, 7, 8, 7. It was 9, rested, good diet becomes 5. Great, Sherbel. You see how when you do a change, the stress changes. Amjad 7, Nahla 7, Mansoor 6. Yeah. So there was 2 first 10s and then some 6, 7, 8, 9, Maha. Yeah, Sherbel, it's expensive. I'm not sure if I'm able to maintain. Maybe finding something in between. Mira is a great dietitian that you could see. Okay, so I want you to just reflect and on your paper write down, and you can even write a bit here. How is your energy at this level of 9 or at 6 or at 7? How is your motivation for work? How is the quality of your relationships? Not only at work, all your relationships. How do you interact? Are you aggressive? Are you reactive versus being responsive? So at this level, so Haitham, you're at a 10. How are you? How do you describe yourself? So I just want you to reflect a few minutes and try to write it down on a paper.
You know, with time and with all the ups and downs we've been facing in Lebanon, some of us can manage thirst.
Sorry, who's speaking?
Fadi.
Okay, yes, Fadi.
With time and with the all ups and downs that are happening in Lebanon, and with all the challenges that we faced, some of us managed well into managing their own stress level. As I say in Lebanese, sorry, excuse me for my French, I say in Lebanese, بين البعثة والبعثة إذا ما انبعثنا بنحس حالنا مبعوثين.
I'm coming here. Yeah, and I think Fadi, so Fadi, that's a great example. So you build resilience.
Yes, we've built resilience.
With experience, and actually even Lebanese بالعالم كله, they are known resilient. If you think about it, all of you guys, everything you're experiencing now, when you will overcome that, because the war will end at some point, you are ready to face anything in life. I'm not saying this is a necessity, and I'm not justifying all these terrifying things that are happening. Absolutely not. But you are strong. You are solid. In other countries, some people, if there is a small thing, it's the end of the world.
To a certain extent, we became solid. But
Yeah.
being solid in a country that is 24/24 on a war mechanism, it's not a healthy life.
Absolutely not. It's impacting, and this kind of continuous stress is actually impacting our health. It could create autoimmune disease on the long term, diabetes. But that's why it is important to learn how to manage stress, how to regulate our nervous system. Hence the importance of that, how to reduce that. So I'm going to share my screen again. Thank you for sharing, Fadi.
Thank you.
So I wanted you to become aware of how you felt here. And now I'd like you to reflect on what is your ideal level of well-being? Where do you want to be? Where you feel that this fearlessness, I can do it. There's no more this demotivation, inability to focus. So on the opposite side of the spectrum, where do you want to be in terms of well-being, motivation, whatever resonates most with you? Okay, David, feeling content with what I have. Okay, healthy relationship, good friends, good health. That's enough. What's fixing on about stress? Do you recommend yoga? Shelby will go through details about stress management techniques and tools. Yoga is definitely a good way of regulating our nervous system, but it depends. For some people, it can be a source of stress, and for some people, it can help. Productive, calm, achieving goals. Peaceful, honesty, team. Yeah, yeah. And when you are in this state, healthy relationship, healthy friends, productive, feeling calm, peaceful, how would it help you in living a fulfilling life? Supporting my communities, Amjad. It helps with needing wanting less. Okay, so I hear gratitude, David. Absolutely, it's a great tool, and I will be covering it later. Better human to oneself and others. Yes, beautiful. Giving back. Friends are like emotional GPS, helping you navigate left twist of range. Absolutely, Sharbil. A relationship support system is an extremely powerful tool. So I'm going to dive into the tools already. So the importance of managing stress and improving our well-being. When we feel better, it's all linked. We are able to build healthier relationships because we are able to regulate our emotions and speak in a healthier way, more supportive. We are able to be compassionate with others. And then we can develop a more positive mindset, feel motivated, we perform more, we can succeed more, we feel more fulfilled. When we are feeling more fulfilled, again, we can invest into nurturing our relationships, and it's a cycle, right? It's not one or the other. It's not because I'm fulfilled, I'm going to be happy, or because I have healthy relationship, I'm going to be happy, or I'm going to succeed. They're all linked. It's a flow of energy that we're actually nurturing. And here comes the importance of managing stress, regulating stress in order to be able to create this flow of energy. We all know that the only constant is change by Heraclitus. Change is constant. You are facing change in Lebanon due to the war. And yes, I'm not comparing at all the stress level that our country is facing at the moment with change that anyone else faces in the world. But I want you to know, like, I am in New York. There is stress. It's a different kind of stress. People are on like a rat race. There's a very high level of burnout. Cost of living is extremely high. There is also lack of safety in the street. Absolutely, I'm not comparing again the level of stress with what is being experienced in Lebanon. But what I'm saying is that a change is a constant everywhere. Today, in companies, as a job or health-wise, we don't know what's going to happen the next day. So how can we manage stress? Because stress is not something that is happening. It's not a fact. It is an apprehension of the future, of the unknown, of what is going to happen next. So we cannot always control our circumstances, but we can always control our attitude, approach, and response. I repeat it. So we can't always control circumstances, but we can choose how we want to respond to that situation. We have the power on how we want to show up. And we gotta focus on what we can control. Exactly. So I want you to do an exercise. So what is within your control at the moment and what is out of your control at the moment? Just to become aware. Absolutely, David. You can control how you react and respond. You can't control situations. So if you had more specific times in your control, trying to make the most out of this war state, absolutely, Mira. Personally dive into work and learning and try to stay away from news, mainly during the day. Yes, Walid, this is what you can control. You are choosing to focus on your work and trying to learn. And you are choosing to stay away from news. This is a choice. Great, it's within your control. Choosing gratefulness, Mira, yes, great. Sherbil, hitting the gym, choosing healthy meals, out of your control system, wars, missed opportunities. Absolutely, Sherbil. Well done, well said. Positive thinking is in your control, Amjad. Yeah. Control what's within, out of control, outside world. Yes, Lara. And I'll add on that, it's also how we respond, not only what's within, but actions we take is also within your control. My behavior is within my control, conflicts are not. Conflicts, country and war, they're not. But when there is a conflict between human beings, we are always two in a conflict. So when I am in conflict with my partner, I am also participating to the conflict. So the way I respond to that, or I speak, or I show up is within my control. Okay. So as you mentioned, here are some answers. So within your control, so for example, staying or leaving in Lebanon, investing more or not in the startup, how I respond to people or situations, what I prioritize. So who said earlier, Walid, I personally dive into work and learn to stay, trying to make the most out of the war, Mira. So those are things, the actions I take every day. So what you choose, hitting the gym, choosing meals. So those are within the control. Out of our control is political situation, competition, how people act or say. We have no control, even in our close relationships, your families, your friends, at work. We do not control how they act or how they say. We can only control what we do. And we have no control what will happen tomorrow. So what we notice is that when there is stress coming from things within your control that you're not taking, so when there are things within your control that you are not taking action on, it is a source of stress. So for example, prioritizing to work or to exercise instead of watching news. It's within your control, but when you do not do it, it is a source of stress. So becoming clear and taking action, choosing what suits you, choosing what will bring this sense of peace and calm to you is what will alleviate the stress. And then there is what is out of your control. And this is where we're going to dive more into stress management techniques. So between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom by Viktor Frankl. I love this sentence. So between stimulus and response, there is a space. And this is where you have the power to choose your response. And this is where lies growth and freedom. So stimulus and response. And the more we create this space in between, because here there is the stimulus, we get triggered. There is fear, there is anger, we are completely triggered. Our nervous system is like a magnetic field of electric energy. And so whatever touch it is gonna electrify. The more we are able to create space, the more we are able to calm this energy and be able to respond from a place of calm, of clarity, of feeling relaxed. So nervous system regulation helps you shift from feeling very alert and on the edge to a more relaxed, peaceful state during tough times. It helps us develop emotional intelligence and agility. The more we are able to go back, so all emotions are valid, or the emotional response you are feeling now, the fear, the stress, the anxiety, they are all valid. There are triggers behind, there is war, there is noises of bomb. So whatever, how your body and how your emotion and how your mental state are responding is natural. What we want to try is to learn how to regulate and come back to your normal neutral state. And this will enable you to become more agile in your relationships, to be able to respond in a much wiser way than when you are triggered. So I just want to check if someone wrote something. I'm not able to find again. Okay, I can't find, it's fine. So what are tools? Several one of you mentioned daily gratitude. Daily gratitude bring, okay, so I'm just checking the message. Let this go patience between students from their space, yeah. Daily gratitude. So when we are able so before going there, so daily gratitude, nervous system regulation activities, having a strong support system. One of you mentioned having close friends. Fadi, you mentioned a wife, healthier relationships. This will all enable you to start regulating your nervous system more and bringing a sense of feeling calmer and more peaceful. So practicing gratitude is a very simple and natural way of improving your quality of sleep, quality of your relationship, energy with others. So I want to ask you to list 15 things you're grateful for at the moment. Yeah, I can bet you that you can find 50 things, if it's not more. I just want to ask you for 15 things that you feel grateful for. Rima, daily exercise, swimming, yoga. Yeah, so these are tools that we're going to go through later as part of the nervous system regulation. Absolutely, Rima. Well said. You can write them down at yours, yeah? The 15 things you're grateful for. Let me know when you're ready and we can move to the next slide, or you do it after our call. My work, daughter, yeah. Work, family, health, friends, yoga, absolutely. Work, daughter, sister, still safe. Yes, وكلني. Roof on my head, absolutely. Family, health, friends, career. But you're mentioning these are great, but I would even go deeper, even if you don't want to write them here. Like, who is a friend you're really grateful that you have them in your life? In your career, what is it that you're really grateful or proud of that you came that far? Health-wise, what do you notice? So really become more attuned and connected to being grateful for what you have at the moment. Sometimes we take so much for granted and we're here nagging and complaining about things. I'm not underestimating the situation in Lebanon, absolutely not. But when we realize how far we came on certain aspect, it really brings a sense of well-being. Cats, yes, cats. There's a smile with it, so I guess cats bring you a certain good feeling. Yeah. I remember AUB cats eating my food.
Okay, AUB cats are something else, but
Okay.
but we love them as well.
أكيد. And they get rid of all the rats and stuff.
Yeah.
Finding parking on the first try. Yeah, Sherbet. Okay, great. So you're becoming aware that you have this nice energy and luck. Okay. So what are exercises to help us, activities to help us regulate our nervous system? Outdoor has shown that just being outdoor, and we have one of the most beautiful country, if as a Lebanese, I would say the most beautiful country, but I'll say neutrally speaking, one of the most beautiful countries in the world. A hike, a swim, a walk outdoor, just breathing the air, looking at the blue sky, walking next to some greenery. It really helps in regulating our nervous system. Yes, Rima, sleeping comfortably, breathing, seeing, listening to music, may change in some people's life. I'm smoking. Amazing, Rima, beautiful. So that's great. Yeah. I'm grateful for being able to pray, to be beyond of concert. Amazing, Rima. So that's a beautiful example of how we are grateful of things that are very specific to us. Madi driving all over Lebanon. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for sharing. So outdoor activities, anything that works for you, wherever you live, because I know now with the situation, it may be hard to go and organize a hike, but if you manage to, great. If you don't manage to, take a break from your work, just go down, have a 10 minutes walk sometimes, just take a deep breath, speak with the guy of the Dakene down there, change your mind. It really brings a good sense of well-being. Replacing activities. So for example, one of you said, Walid, I think, so instead of news, you work. Sometimes also putting music. It can calm, music you love, whatever is it that you feel that you enjoy. A 10-minute break to avoid a fight with your co-worker or a co-founder or with a partner, with your husband, wife. If you feel tension is rising, just notice it and say, I'm going to go have a phone call or I'm going to go have a coffee. Try to minimize the chance of bringing more sources of stress and conflict and avoid draining people. If you know this friend or this family member is going to bring a lot of negativity and you already have a lot on your plate, just avoid them for the time being. Healthier lifestyle. So minimum 7 hours of sleep, if you can. I know in our current situation, it is tough, but if you can, try to put white noise, something to really disconnect. Eating healthy foods. We are so lucky with the beautiful vegetables and fruits we have in Lebanon. and the Mediterranean diet, the beans, the hummus, the batinjin, and stopping to smoke for those who do. Those are examples. There are many more that I can add to that are relevant to each one of you. Each one of you have certain habits that they can try to break or start. Relaxing activities. So meditation, someone asked about yoga earlier. So yes, meditation or yoga, it depends. Some people, yoga would stress them. So for example, I don't do well with yoga, but I do great with sound healing. I love running, but for example, I'm not a fan of biking. Someone would be a fan of biking. So whatever works for you. A hot bath sometimes relaxes our muscles. Cooking can take your mind off of work and of the stress. You can enjoy a nice meal. Deep breathing, and we're going to be doing a small example of deep breathing. So deep breathing is something you can do anywhere, anytime. And it is an extremely powerful tool. It lowers your blood pressure. It slows down your heart rate when it's racing. It reduces your stress hormones. It relaxes your muscle. It makes you feel calmer and lighter. So I want to ask you, can I ask you to just we're going to be taking 3 very deep breaths together. Okay? Are you ready? Are you in? You can put a thumbs up in the message box. Yes? Okay. Great. So let's start with the first one. If you feel more comfortable, just close your eyes, and otherwise, whatever feels good for you. And just take a very deep breath. You could put your hand on your chest. Four, 3, 2, 1, and you can exhale. That's the first one, just as a trial. And let's do 2 more. Deep breath in your chest and in your tummy. You can feel it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. And the last one. Hold it, hold it. You're doing great, guys. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale. So this is a tool that you can use anytime, several times a day. I use it. It really is very powerful. And you can just try it. Whenever you feel in a heightened state of stress or anxiety, just taking a few deep breaths will enable you to regulate your nervous system and come back to present moment with a clearer mind. Seeking external support. Venting is a very powerful tool to release tension. You can ask for professional support, be it from a therapist, from a coach, or any professional help, but also confiding in a friend, confiding in a coworker, confiding in your neighbor, sometimes just speaking. Do not let everything being suppressed inside. It does not help in causing, in releasing the stress, in regulating the stress. Because our body stores. So whenever you do not release the tension, release the anxiety, it's going to be stored in your body. And confiding is a way of just letting things out. Do I recommend breathing in out via nose, only common mouth? Yeah, so I didn't want to go deeper into that, but usually breathing from the nose and exhale from the mouth. Absolutely. Lara, thank you for asking the question. May not be the right ones. Yes, Fadi. We should not confine in anyone. It's about choosing the people who are where it's a safe space, because if it's not safe or if it's going to be turned against us, of course, it's not going to be beneficial. It's going to be a higher source of stress. So we need to choose who are the people we trust, building healthy and deeper connections. The thing that healed was daily walks in Mountain. So this is what worked for you. Great. Thank you for sharing. Well done, Fadi. This is a proof that activity, so mountaineering, it's outdoors, it's green, it's breathing fresh air. It has been proven. It has been proven that walking in outdoors, connecting with nature, has a very strong positive impact on regulating our nervous system and bringing a sense of peace. Lara, journaling is good too, absolutely. Text yourselves, do that sometimes. Yes, and sometimes we want also someone else. Journaling is great, especially to also get clearer of what's happening in your head. Shine, openness, and outside adventure, quite curious. Bravo, Sharbel, absolutely, and absolute. And lost weight, great, Fadi. So all these are very healthy. And lastly, I want to come again to what I truly believe in. So again, it's a 360 degrees to feel well. Health, outdoor activities, fun, and also our support system and the quality of our relationships. The quality of our relationships determines the quality of our lives, and this is not exclusive to romantic partnerships. And this is Esther Perel, a relationship specialist worldwide. Think about it. When you are at work, it's what, 8 hours, 9 hours a day? Every day you are interacting with certain people. The quality of these relationships, if there's stress or conflict on a daily basis, it will impact your well-being. And same goes if at home, you're going back at home, you're sleeping in the bed with someone. This relationship that is taking so much of your life, if the quality of it is negative or a lot of tension, it will also impact your well-being. So investing in improving and nurturing the quality of our relationships really support us in improving the quality of our lives. So how can we improve our communication? So how can we move from reactive to becoming responsive? So what we just spoke about before, nervous system regulation activities, deep breathing, activities outdoors, gratitude. When we become calmer, when we are more relaxed, we are able to speak in a calmer way. There's also some education about, for example, using I statements. So when you are upset about someone, be it at work or in your personal life, instead of saying you did and pointing out, when that happen, I feel this, or I am feeling angry when you do this or that, instead of saying you are blah, blah, blah. So this is a way of also learning more healthy communication versus toxic communication. We do not enough express appreciation and validation toward others. Thank you for being here for me. Thank you for supporting me during this difficult period. Thank you for having covered up for me at work. Thank you for having seen my daughter or my son during this period. Also setting boundaries. We all know that in Lebanon, families are a bit intrusive sometimes. There's a lot of expectations. And at work, in startups, our rules are undefined. It's very mixed. So sometimes when you can't, when there's too much, learn to say no with a counter response. When you say yes, while you cannot take on more, you will start feeling resentment. You will start feeling anger towards the other person, and it will not help you in building healthy relationships. Practice active listening. We tend to listen to others whilst being in our heads. So sometimes by really saying, okay, I just want to hear, I want to be curious. What do they have to say? What is their opinion? What do they think about this or that situation? There's always some new wisdom and learning you can learn by hearing the other's opinion. Always. We always learn something new. So learnings and actions of today. Man cannot discover new oceans unless he has the courage to lose sight of the shore. So there's some stuff that we need to leave behind. There are some things we need to change. We need to stop doing in order to explore new spaces, new mindsets. When I want to be always anxious or ruminating or stressed, I do not allow space to actually think of opportunities or of gratitude or of being able to see what is possible. So we need to leave some things in order to give space for new things. So what did you learn about yourself today? Whatever, like small things, or what did you realize, or what did you reconfirm, if it's not really learning, because it's you all have your own answers within. But what did you say, aha, actually this or that? You survived another day in Lebanon. Yes, Fadi. Yeah. It is a challenging period. Anyone else? What did you learn? Or what did you realize? What did you... Okay, so Raja, you went directly to the what do you choose to stop doing and start doing? So you try to watch less news. Okay, great. Just to make it more concrete, what will you do instead, Raja? So when you will try to watch less news, what do you want to replace this time with more? Mansoor, breathing more, great. How will you remind yourself? What is something that you could put, maybe a picture or something to remind you of doing more of that? Stop stressing over things I cannot control, improve communication and mindfulness through breathing. Great, guys. So I hear you want to start implementing more breathing technique. Anyone else? What do you want to stop doing or start doing? Less news, stop reacting fast, and take that space to react. Great. Great, Mira.
May I interfere in an experience or
Sure,
something?
sure. Yes.
Between 2002 and 2004, I had lots of stress on my head, studying 3 different majors, trying to cope with the tuition fees, establishing my company, etc. I had a friend, he was 30 years older than me. One day he asked me, look behind you, what do you see? I turned, I saw the wall. It was between me and the wall that was kind of a couple of meters. He said to me, can you hold the air? I said, no. He said, this is stress. You cannot hold stress and you cannot hold the past experiences, but you can build on them for the future. And from then till now, this is what I usually do and train my team on it and train my daughters on it. Unfortunately, we live in a country that is a dream killer.
Can I build on what you said? Thank you so much
please.
for sharing. So I love that. You said, what do you learn? So you cannot change. We cannot change what happened. We cannot change sometimes situation. What's important is what we learn and how we can bring this learning for the future. What do you want to, what do you want to do better or stop doing or start doing. There's always a gift in the learning, even in failures, even in difficult times, even if in situations of pain. There is always something that can bring us strength and wisdom for the future.
There is no success without failures.
Absolutely. There is success, but there is no this stretching, this
once I said it
beyond.
I said it to Rida the first time I met him at the EUBI Park. Actually, Rida had hunted me due to my eldest daughter. She's the youngest entrepreneur at the EUBI Park, iPark. And I told him, the moment you admit that you succeeded, it's the moment that you failed, because success has no limits. And success is rational. For me, success is seeing my two daughters finalizing their studies, having their own businesses, seeing my companies on an international scale. For somebody else, success is having a family.
Absolutely.
It's rational.
It changes. So we all have different value system.
True.
You value family, you value your success, international exposure. So someone else may value health, environment. I don't know. Everyone has different perspectives and values, and success will be derived across that. And you mentioned earlier that when you say I succeeded, it means you failed already. I just want to highlight that it is quite healthy to celebrate small wins. So when we go a milestone, when we succeeded, when someone got the round A or round B, etc., celebrate yourself. You can be proud of yourself. This is what gives the energy to go beyond. This is what gives the energy to say, okay, I want to stretch myself. Now I'm ready. Otherwise, you're in this continuous wanting to reach the high, this point that is not reachable.
It's a pursuit of this adrenaline. It's not the adrenaline itself. It's the pursuit of this adrenaline.
But it's the journey that matters.
True.
We enjoy the journey, because when we reach there, no matter how much targets we put, it may never be enough.
True.
So fulfillment is found through gratitude on a daily basis, through wins, through saying, hey, man, look, we reached that. That's great. You know what? We missed that one. Next time, we're gonna do better. It's creating this kind of atmosphere. It's bringing this sense of possibility. It's bringing this sense of it's possible, we can, we will, and also enjoying yourself. And I'll tell you something, Fadi, you must be proud of yourself, of your commitment to these 2 hours in Mount Sanin, of having lost all these kilos, of having had 2 beautiful daughters who are successful and your youngest daughter, so of having also your own success. So there's a lot to celebrate and be proud of yourself. Even if you can go beyond, we can all go beyond. But you...
Going beyond, it's the drive that keeps me living.
Yes. Okay. I'm not going to go back to the presentation. It was just saying, well, I mean, I can open it again. So I want you to just to take something with you. So for example, the breathing you mentioned, or a commitment to nature, etc. How will you remind yourself to do that? You can share with someone, or you can put a picture or anything to commit to the changes you want to implement.
Excuse me, you're asking me a question?
No, it's for everyone. Like
okay.
Anyone who made the changes, like less news, more time in nature, more breathing, etc. How will you remind yourself that this is important for you and to release stress and to bring more well-being? So you don't need to, if it's too much now, but just, yes, great, Lara. So you're holding yourself accountable. Sometimes writing it on a paper or a post-it next to you, or anything to remind you, because the news will come again, work is gonna come, and we forget. So sometimes posting something that it is an opportunity, or even on a link on your calendar, just adding that as a weekly thing. I will link it to an existing habit. Great, Mira, great example. I will link to, like, after my shower, I'll take deep breath, for example. Great, thank you for sharing. So something like this, like it becomes part of a routine. Stress reduction is just a goal: survival, less stress, more success. Yeah, start small, like do it for 5 minutes and then do it more often. Absolutely, Nahla. Nahla, you can put it in your calendar on your phone just to remind yourself, something like this. Okay, any question you may have? You can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's the easier way, and then I can share with you. I have a Calendly link if you want to schedule a call, or I can share my email. It's easier. Sharbil, I was surprised of the power of breathing, of deep breathing. It really alleviates, and exercising, even if it's simple walking, not only very intense boot camps, just moving our bodies. Really, I want to
Right.
give you a challenge. When you're extremely stressed, just go for a walk for 30, 45 minutes and see how you feel afterwards. And email me. I'll wait for your note to tell me how you feel. Like if you see a difference before and after.
Runners high أكيد من ناحية.
Edida, what about people who lost their homes and were highly affected? Which tool can we recommend? Yes, it is not easy. So I think a lot of gratitude to realize during this. Yes, Mira, of course. I'm just gonna answer Elida and then you can go ahead. So Elida, it is not easy. And by the way, I share my very deep compassion for that. Being grateful that we are alive, that they have a roof, that they have all this education. So gratitude is really helpful during this period. Deep breathing as well, but also thinking of a plan, thinking like being able to still have a dream, being able to look forward. Because when we are stuck in, I lost my home, it's done, I'm in a victim mindset, it's done, like it's the like khalas, and you're waiting for the next worst thing. So being able to still reflect or think of a plan. If their people are young, do they want to travel, or if they want to stay in Lebanon, do they have plans, projects, and surrounding themselves with people who are here to support and guide them. Mentors are also great in this kind of period. I don't know if that helps.
Why don't we turn the weakness into a powerful and strong point? For the past 20 years, I've been into many ups and downs. And I lost 2 dear people to my heart, my youngest brother, and then my wife. My wife passed away due to cancer. And each day during the year and a half that she was in treatment, for me, it was another year for her living on earth. People look at me, 3 days after she passed away, I took the girls on a long drive all over Lebanon. We drove, we stayed here and there, we had fun. And then when we came back, everybody looked at my girls and said to me, "Are you sure your wife passed away?" I said, "Yes, my wife passed away. My girls are allowed to mourn, but they are not allowed to mourn in public. They are allowed to mourn in private. And when they are in public, they have to be fun. They have to be passionate the way their mom wanted them to be." In 2006, I sold a solution for Intel from 8 figures numbers and came back to Lebanon to kick off a company under July War. I came at the beginning of this meeting, forgot her name, sorry, totally. She said to me, "Your video was very promising," and etc. I was supposed to be in Beirut on the 16th of July. The 12th of July, the war ignited. I came through Syria on the 15th. And I recall well, I have my bags put into the هيدي تبع البيتون, and we went into Beirut and we kicked off a company. Nobody believed what I'm doing. They looked at me and they said, "You're crazy." I said, "No, I'm not crazy. I'm here to succeed. Either I succeed and make it, or I lose." I've been raising my two daughters for the past 40 years. That anything happens for a reason. In 2004, I lost my youngest brother for a brain stroke. He was 17 years old, the youngest athlete in the world. 5 months after I lost him, he used to use the phrase, "Life is like an ice cream. Enjoy it before it melts." I've put this on my status on ICQ. 2 days later, I met my wife. I dated my wife for 1 year and a half. We got married. We God bless us with two beautiful ladies. And then in September 30th, 2020, she left. Since then, I've been raising my kids, and we have a kind of funny show on TikTok. مين بيطبخ لكم بي بيطبخ. And from this show, I met my new fiancé. My fiancé, not my new fiancé. So everything happens for a reason if you know how to manage our stress level and how to see the positive side of it. All of my friends tell me, you see in the darkest hours the brightest sunshine, and it's true.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for sharing, Fadi. And I
Thank
just
you.
want to highlight, you are resilient and you are inspiring and you are passionate. Just through a sentence you attracted, and you also, your energy attracts. You put
Yes.
yourself in situations, you take a risk, and you go for it. You
Sure.
don't just wait. So there's the intention and there's the action that follows. So well done, and thanks a lot for sharing, and congratulations for your
Thank you.
fiancé.
Thank you.
And sorry for the losses.
This is
Yeah.
life. We cannot do anything about it. We have to
Yeah.
accept it, grasp it, see the good thing in it, and move
And
forward.
I'm taking the sentence, and then I'm going to give the floor to Mira before we wrap up. I'll take the sentence. Life is like an ice cream. Enjoy it
before it melts.
Beautiful. I love it. Mira, please.
Okay. No, I just wanted to say to Sherbel, so basically whenever you're stressed, like Andrea said, fight or flight response, so we tend to have a lot of glucose in our arms and legs, so we get fidgety and we feel like we need to do something with our hands. So this is why it was shown that Lego, puzzling, knitting, anything you could do with your hands, even playing on your phone, can reduce a lot stress because you're getting your hands busy. And crying helps to regulate your nervous system. So these are two strategies. And the third one would be to do something to live like your inner child. So watching a Disney movie, doing something you used to do as a child that you used to soothe you. So these are techniques that are very personal that you could do that could help. So I just wanted to add these.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for
Interesting.
sharing.
That's actually very interesting because I've lately been like developing this hobby of embroidering. You just said like stitching or knitting or something, and I didn't realize I was doing it because I was stressed or something, but it's been like really helping a lot. So yeah.
Wow.
Nice. And you discovered an artistic side of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Mira. And I agree with the crying part. I mean, we cannot force ourselves, but when you do feel like crying, and especially men, we sometimes feel it's a weakness. It's not. It's not. It's being courageous, it's being vulnerable, and sometimes it allows to just release. Thanks a lot. It was really a pleasure. Anyone has a question or wants to add anything before we wrap up? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lara. Thank you, Mansour. Thank you, Mira. Thank you, Raja. It was a real pleasure to see you all. I didn't see all the faces behind the videos, but I didn't want to put pressure. Thank you, Sherbel. And as I mentioned, feel free to just reach out, connect, even just to connect on LinkedIn. Hi, Lara. Nice to see you again. And I hope we get to reconnect soon. And I deeply hope things calm down and we leave our beautiful country at peace.